Heaven is here. Um, so, the reason I say that is because I've realized that I have been given this wonderful gift of life and the ability to create my own world. Um, so, I started off this journey coming into Hawaii, coming into Oahu. Not exactly sure what was going on, but just kind of following the flow, following my heart, following my own instincts. And it started out with me landing and then an instant feeling of I need to get grounded. I need to get a place to live. I need a job. I can't be just blowing my money. You know, I need a kitchen to cook in because eating out is not healthy enough food for one, and two, it's a whole lot more expensive. And so, yeah, my initial reaction from coming here on this adventure wasn't like, yay, let's be on vacation and have fun. It was like a whole lot of anxiety. So, let's see, today is Friday, Saturday, something like that. So I'm like 2.5 weeks into this adventure. Things have changed a whole lot as I've been able to get grounded and develop into what's happening. I went for a hike the other morning. I felt good enough, grounded enough that I was able to enjoy myself. I woke up, I wanted to wake up early enough to go watch the sunrise somewhere. And so I did, thankfully. Thanks to my spirit guides being like, get out of bed, you're gonna miss it, you know. And I had like this dream of this beautiful sunrise, and I was like, oh, I missed it. And then I woke up and it was like 4:20 and I still had time, so it was great. So I went and climbed this it's called Cocoa Mountain, I think. Beautiful, right on the east coast. This hike up this old like train track. I don't know if it's like probably like a coal mining track or something, but like goes way up this mountain and you like hike up it, and it is hard, and it was good, and I was sweaty, and my legs were shaking, and I get up there and get on the other side of the mountain to watch the sunrise, and the wind is just like blowing all over the place, and I was like, whoa, I'm sweaty, and I was like cold instantly. So I found this little nook to sit in and just taking in the scenery. And something that had been kind of coming up for me since I got grounded in a place here and been paying rent is a feeling like I don't want to be throwing my money away in rent. It's not necessarily throwing my money away because it gives me ground, but after having a house and putting my money in that and then getting money back after selling it, after leaving it, what a beautiful reward. It's like a savings account. Rent is not a savings account. So I'm sitting here watching this sunrise, and I just had this strong feeling and strong intuition, like Lacey needs a home. Lacey needs a home. I'm like, I have a home. Home's right here. Home. It's like, no, Lacey needs a home. So I'm like, okay, I hear you. Lacey needs a home. I agree. If I had a little baby Lacey and I was taken care of, I would want to give her a home. I'd want to invest in her life. And so that's what I'm doing. So I did some research, and property on Oahu is ridiculous. Even I thought about buying an acre of land somewhere and starting from the ground and living there. And even an acre of land, I saw one that was like 60,000, and I don't have 60,000. I've spent a lot of money just getting grounded and trying to figure myself out, and so I'm like, dang, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? So I went to go get myself a vegan gluten-free donut from my favorite place down to earth. Make myself feel better about the stress of like, oh, what do I do? And this friend, Sam, that I had met was sitting there out front, and I was like, "Oh, Sam." So I went and sat with him, forgot all about my donut, started this conversation with him, talking to him, and I told him about this house thing, and he was like, Big Island. Big Island, it's really cheap. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been kind of having some dreams about it and stuff, but felt like I was like supposed to come here to Oahu and be here because like this is the island for some reason. And but seriously, I had like dreams of the Big Island the night before. Okay. So poked around online, looked at things, found some really great deals on land. Found an acre for $7,500. It's undeveloped. It's on pretty rocky lava stuff. It's out in the country, and I bought it. Yep, taking a risk. Haven't been there, haven't seen it. Hope it's real. I think it's real because now that that's in motion, things shifted for me. I was looking into like food truck, like what is it gonna take to turn this thing into a food truck. After I bought it, I was like, okay, now I gotta get my food truck ready so I can go there and do the food truck thing. And as I was looking into that, it's kind of expensive and a lot of work, and I given myself 30 days to get things ready and go. So I explored that avenue, and it was gonna take all the rest of my money to build this food truck. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. That's not comfortable to me. I want to have some savings. And then it occurred to me that this is my food truck, but it's actually my house to go on my land. I need to build a kitchen. Yes, a food truck. A kitchen. I need a fridge. I need a stove. I need to be able to make myself food. But there's also room in this truck that I can have a bed. I'm like a little studio apartment. Great. So now things are exciting. I've got this truck to build. And so then it's like, okay, what do I need? Like nothing's on this land. There's not power hookup. There's not a water sewer line. There's these things, the options for like, yeah, it's like off-grid living. What the heck am I gonna do? I don't know how to live off-grid very well, but just started thinking about it and started doing some research, and there's lots of people who've done this, so I'm looking online. First thing I need is electricity, and so I'm like, okay, because I'm not building a food truck and putting all my money to that, I actually have money to get a solar system put on top of the truck. So I started researching, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, what do I do? Get this delivered, like, by Amazon? It's going to take, like, a month to get here because I live in Hawaii, but I'm leaving in a month. That doesn't work. So then I felt inspired to just look on Craigslist for solar panels and just see what happened. Boom. There is a place called Reuse Hawaii that has stacks of solar panels that were taken off carefully in the point is so that they can be reused. They take good care of them. It was like $45 a panel, and you could pick through, and there's like different wattages of them and stuff. And so I went there, and I'm like picking through, and I'm like, this is overwhelming. I don't know what I can do. I kind of measured the top, and I'm like, okay, the max capacity I have is room for 4 panels. That's not very much power. I think it's gonna be enough to run a fridge and a couple little appliances if I'm careful. Maybe some lights if they're LED. So I'm looking at these panels, and I'm like looking for like the higher one so I can get as much as I can. And I'm like, I don't know, all these panels, and it's intimidating. And this guy was there looking through, and he's like, hey, watch out for these ones that are discolored. They're not as good. It's not going to be as efficient. You have to dig through, but you can find ones that are good. And I was like, okay. And he's like, look, like this one over here. He walks over this pile and picks up one, and he's like, this one's really good. And it happens to be the highest wattage one there, 285 watts a panel. The other ones were like 190, 175. And yeah, so we found this one. And then there was a pile, and there was some other like buried in the pile. They were the same style, so I dig through and I find them, and I find 4, and they're perfect. There's no discoloration on them. 285 watts. Hopefully they work. I don't have a way to test them yet, but I bought them $45 each. I looked up these panels online, brand new, they're like $400. So, whoa, savings right there of $1,200 by just like breathing, being patient, thinking, taking my time. So I bought those, and then I was like, all right, here we go, figure this out, I don't know what I'm going to do. The other things that I've researched online were saying, like, talking about batteries. I'm like, okay, batteries. I'm going to go to a battery store and talk to a human, because honestly, doing the research online, I have a hard time, like, reading and understanding what the heck I'm supposed to do with stuff. I need to learn from humans. So go to the battery store. This lady's like, oh yeah, kind of tells me what I need, but she's like, you know, if you go talk to Bill at our other store, who's the owner of Bill's Batteries, he's gonna know more. He might have better stuff at that store. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go there. So I go talk to Bill. Bill's in there, owner of the battery company. This guy cares. He cares a lot about his business and like wants to help me, and he's looking around and prices things out and looks at options. And then he's like, you know, I'm not sure about this one thing or if this would work, but I've got a friend over at a solar company. Let me give him a call. He calls him. He's like, hey, can I send this gal over to you? She's got some questions. Can you help her? And he's like, sure. So I go over. It's the owner of this solar contracting company. So I go up in his office in this place, and he's like looking at it, and he's like, oh, you need this, and like starts writing down and gets me an estimate of like the sheet of all these little parts and pieces that I need to like put this together. And it was like $300. And I was like, yes, I need that. Not to like put the whole thing together, but like to get the base. So it was like the tracks for the top, the hardware, and the first disconnect breaker that I need to go into the other parts of a system. So cool. That gives me my first pieces, my first step to building my solar power system on top of my truck for, let's see, $180 and $300, like, you know, $500. We're getting going on this, so it's pretty exciting. It's where I'm at. Before I do any of that, I have to clean out this truck. It's really dusty. It's really gross and really dusty, and I don't want to like start putting this together on top of dirtiness. And so I'm a little ahead of myself in what I've gone and gotten, but I feel like that was an appropriate timing so that all of those things could happen, so that I could get the stuff from people. So I'm really grateful. R&R Solar. The guy's name is Ralph. Awesome. Thank you. Now I gotta clean the truck. Yep. Anyways, so big plans, and I feel crazy. It's fun. I'm really excited. I'm excited to go have a place where I get to basically, I get to do it my way. I get to do this my way. This is my world, my turn. I have died and been reborn in heaven. Here I am. Growing up, I was told that I needed to be good all of my life, and then after I die, I get to come to heaven and create my own world as long as I follow all the rules, and I marry a man because the man's gonna help me. But guess what? The man's inside of me. I am the masculine and the feminine, and I have come together with myself, and now I am creating a world unto myself. You don't have to wait till you die. Heaven is here. Much love.